Good afternoon to everybody who is joining us live, or to everybody who will perhaps watch this a little later. The purpose of today's meeting is for us to share some experiences and some stories that relate to the BA in Business Management study program that is offered at the Faculty of Management, University of Łódź. So we do hope that the stories and the content of today's meeting will prove useful in making an informed decision about whether to join the program or not. It has been brought to my attention that it is expected that a member of staff tells potential candidates about the study program. Now, I thought about this and I decided to invite a group of students who are first-year students, currently in the second semester, and I believe that these are people who are best placed to tell you about the program, its content, its challenges, its promises. So if you will allow me to introduce the people who are going to discuss the program with you, and we are open for questions later on as well. We have Hildana Abebe, Martyna Kapusta, Mateusz Laudan, and Silver Mafosa. My name is Maciej Turała. I work at the Faculty of Management. I'm co-responsible for running this program, and between the five of us, we will tell you what it means to study business management. So without any further ado, I will pass the floor to the students. Guys, you ready?
Yes, we are. Yeah. Thank you, Professor.
Yes, so hi guys. So the plan for the meeting is we are going to start with our personal statements about what we had thought before business management and now. The next point will be our, let's say, real class of understanding business. Understanding business is one of the most important, let's say, courses in business management. And then will be time for questions. We will answer for questions which we prepared before, but we are going to answer to your questions as well. So can we start?
Yeah, we can. We are ready.
So I will start with my personal statement. So the question is why I chose the business management here in Łódź. So everything started when I was, it was, let's say, one year ago, and for the first time I was thinking that I am able to pass mature exam real well. It was in my only dream that I can imagine that I can, study in English here in, for example, business management. And I was thinking that I heard that there is something like business management. And I got a call to a student who was in the second year then. And I called him, and I'm not going to tell you about the entire discussion, but I will tell you about the 2 or 3 sentences which encouraged me to go here. And that student told me that, Mateusz, your life will be changed after business management. You even cannot imagine how big impact will be in your life that let's say faculty, that subject. And that sentence encouraged me, because I was considered in that time, I was considered not only business management here, but also business studies in Politechnika Łódzka. And in contrast to, let's say, to these 2 courses, the thing is that in Politechnika Łódzka, there are, let's say, 20 students and only 1 student from abroad. Here, in business management, the majority of students are not from Poland. And I would say that maybe it's the biggest advantage of that that course, that subject. Okay, so what we do here on business management. You know, I have never thought that during classes, like let's say understanding business, that's, you know, everyone can say that it's about business, that we are going to listen to Chopin, to Beethoven. For example, that for the first time, I will uncover things such as education and such as, you know, people from the entire world, from so many cultures, not only from Poland. So I would say that, yeah, that business management changed my life, have been changing my life all the time. It's only first semester, many years in front of me, in front of us. So yeah, I would say this is my personal statement, that that sentence which that student told me 1 year ago, it's, you know, it's true. It's true, for sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we can go next.
Okay, now it's my turn. My name is Hildana. As you can see, I'm not from Poland. I'm from foreign country. And it's not my first university to study. It's actually my second university. But when I was in my country, I used to study law, which is really different from business management. But the thing that really makes me to study business management is because I want to interact more with the business world, because I think that business management was only about business. That was my assumptions before joining business management here. So I was looking for a foreign country that has affordable tuition fee. So I found Poland with a good education quality plus affordable tuition fee. That's why I'm here. If you have any question why I'm here, so that's why. And then yes, I joined business management. I told you my assumption was business management is everything to do with managing people, or something with only like business. But after I came here, the first thing I realized was there are a lot of people, not only Polish, but from different countries. That is one of the difference that I have faced. Now I have to talk with English only, which is not my native language. So somehow it's a kind of difficult, but not really, because it doesn't matter how you can speak English. It's just a matter of communication. So I want to share what I got after I came here. So the first thing is, if someone asks me why I am learning business management before I came here, I would say to manage people, or to motivate my co-workers or my colleagues to work better, to work harder. But now I realize that it's not all about motivating others or managing others. It's all about creating shaping the space, or creating the space for the workers so that they can work on that space that I have provided. Because managing others is like manipulating others, which is not appropriate thing to do. So that's what I know about business management after I attend the classes. And also, in the first place, we got some rules introduced by our professors, and I think that those rules are some kind of manipulative, because they told me that I have to do like this. But after I get used to that rules, now there are no more rules, because I make them my principles, not rules, my principles, so that I can achieve my purpose, which is to become not successful, but to become a person who is functional in the business world. And finally, I realized that there is a cooperation in the class room, done competition, which can help everyone to perform in the business world, because business world is all about cooperation. We can see that there are cooperation, people working together in order to achieve the company's goal. and that is what I get in my classroom. So I'm learning from my progress, and I'm looking forward for additional knowledge. And I not only encouraging you, but I'm really telling you the fact. If you are looking for a place which is more of cooperation than competition, I can say that business management is the place for you. And thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so for me, my story on how I came about to become a business management student, it started when I was in Zimbabwe. I used to study management and architectural design in my country, and it came a time where I had to move forward with my future, and I decided to change my environment and possibly change the perspective on how I view things. So I decided to look outside Africa, between England and Poland, and I got some good recommendations from the current second-year students who are learning at the University of Łódź. That Poland offers somewhat better opportunities after you graduate. I was told to expect anything, so I took it on their word. I realized that this is a completely different environment from when I first had the interview. It was a totally different approach to education with a completely 360-degree turn for me, which was new and exciting. The class environment was more about collaboration and not about competition, and people were always helping each other throughout every lesson. Although most of us have not met each other yet, we feel like we know each other because of the relationships we have built through the class discussions. One important thing I live on throughout my studies is that education depends on how we take it, and we should always have fun. That's it.
Okay, and last but not least, my story about my journey with business management. I remember that I was confused about myself and my future, and we have so many universities and fields in Łódź and also in Poland that I really had a problem to choose one. And business management is my second field of studies. My journey started with medical biotechnology at UMET in Łódź, but after 3 months, I just knew that it is not a place for me. So I resigned, and the whole process of looking where I want to be started again. And from the perspective of the time, I see that it is really worth to look inside yourself and just ask a question, why? And I did not ask that question, so remember to ask yourself why you want to go to studies. And before I heard that we have studies like BM, like business management, I was excited with the idea to go abroad for studies. And I really wanted to meet new people, get new experience, and meet new culture, and have daily contact with English, with language. And this is how it started. When I was going deeper into all of that, I found a business management course, and it was everything that I wanted: studies in English, working with people from abroad. And just to make it a long story short, after this first semester, I just see that it is not only what I wanted, and everything depends on me, what I will bring to that studies, and also what I can get from that studies. It really opened my mind for real education, and now I realize that it is about my attitude, what I want, and what I am, what I can do to be educated. And like my classmates said before, business management can change your life, but only if you want your life to be changed, and only if you want progress in your life. So yeah, now will be your move, guys. And thank you. Okay.
If I may also share
Yes.
a little story and perspective, right,
Mm-hmm.
on the experience of business management. Now, my perspective is slightly longer in terms of time. I've been working at the faculty for close to 20 years. I've been with the business management ever since it was created. It wasn't at any specific moment in time. It was a process. It took about 8 years, maybe 10, for the program to become a self-standing bachelor program that is done entirely in English. The first years, some 20 years ago, we had just a few courses in English. Then we had a specialization, a major, and gradually, it evolved into a program. Now, what I find that this program offers is an environment for learning. I am in the program for as long as it exists, 20 years at the faculty. I'm constantly learning, and each and every edition, each and every group that begins the program is just different. And in a sense, we have right now quite a stable structure of the program. We have the same courses each and every year, but they are never the same. They're always different. There's always a different group of people who come from different backgrounds, which for me, as somebody who is supposed to be teaching, quite a rewarding experience, because I don't get to teach, I get to learn alongside all the people that are coming. And one major objective that we have is to create an environment where people can learn if they only choose to do so. Right? There's an open invitation that stays and that stands always. If you want to, you can learn, and you are surrounded by people who are there to learn. So right now, I can say that I have some good colleagues. Some of them I can even call friends who have graduated business management. And this is a community that is growing, and this is what I find quite enriching and quite rewarding, as I said already. So this is all about building relationships, amongst other things. So this is the personal statement from an old professor.
Yeah, thank you, Professor, for sharing it too. And now, guys, do you want to add something, or we can move forward?
No, we can go to our real class, let's say.
Okay, yes. So now we would like to make a little simulation of our class, just to you can see how the course of understanding business look like in these days online.
Okay, so after now on, I will be the professor, and the other three, Martina, Mateos, and Silva, will be students. So this understanding of business is only one course of the whole department. So let's start. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So well. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. So I can see that everyone is coming. Okay. Martina, how's the day?
Hello. The day is really beautiful today. I can see in front of my eyes sun, and that's a lot of difference when it's not dark, it's light, and I have a lot of energy on today's class.
Beautiful, as if we know how to measure beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, maybe for you. For you, right?
Yes, for me.
Okay. Okay, now let's go to the morning story. Anyone who's volunteer? Anyone?
Yeah, I can be a volunteer.
Okay, let's go.
All right, so my good morning story for today is about how I enhanced my education. I came to Poland thinking that somehow everyone in Europe talks in English. I had never been told that more than 3/4 of the whole population does not speak English. This was a culture shock for me. So to communicate with other people, both at work and at school, I realized that I had to learn Polish. I had instances where I was lost in Poland and I was not able to communicate through Google Translate or in person, and this made me feel out of place. This was what made me to consider learning more about Poland and the language. So I started to attend some Polish classes outside the university. Polish was totally different and difficult for me, and it was like being taught how to sing opera or to drive a car when you're only a child. I also started to watch movies in Polish and at times some Polish subtitles, and I started reading children's books to get the basic understanding of the language. I started to see some improvements and I am able to communicate with other people now. And so this is my good morning story.
Okay, people, we know what to do. Write comments, please.
Yeah, so I have comment, Silver. So as always, we are going to, conclude some morals, some learnings from your good morning story. So I would say that maybe I have two comments, two morals. Firstly, never give up, and secondly, you can learn whatever you want, and the sources of knowledge are, around us. Sometimes people, sometimes books, sometimes internet. So everything is around us. So yeah, these are my two comments to morals from your story.
So I have another one, a comment related to your story. When you were when you told us that learning Polish for you was like learning sing in opera, I just realized that whenever we want to start to do something, whenever we want to learn something new, it's like small steps. So we have to start from the beginning, not at the end, like your example with also with a kid, when you started to read books for kids. So from the beginning, just some simple words, and then you can read a whole book. So my moral will be that small steps are worth to get our goal. Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Here we can see elements of education, right? We have 3 elements of education, which are learning, skill, and then attitude. So now, Silver, you came here to have education, right?
Yes, Professor.
Okay, so here we can say one part of education is skill. Now, we can say that, can you say one word in Polish?
Yeah. I'm getting there. I must say something. You want me to say something, Professor?
Yes, please.
Okay. Nie mówię po polsku.
Oh. See, now we can see that you are developing your skills. Skills, people. Skills are something that we can learn. Skills are something learnable. So now we can see that everything, just like Mateo should say, that we can achieve everything, and also we can learn any skill, just like Silver. So let's keep going. We have a story for today. Volunteer, please. Anyone?
Yes, we are willing to introduce the story. Martyna?
Go.
Yes, I'm ready.
Wait, I have to share screen. Do you see?
Yes, I can see.
Screen is visible, yes.
Okay. So, can we start, Mateusz? Are you ready too?
Yeah.
Okay. So, again, good morning to everyone. And today, together with Mateusz, we would like to share with you our story. And the case that we choose for today is to deal with the problem together. So maybe let's start with the definition of the problem. After some considerations and discussion, we established that a problem is a situation when it needs our attention to deal with that we have to do something to change the situation. And we decided that we will divide it into 2 elements. In this case, it will be a space and awareness. And an example of dealing with the problem together is our class. We are here, we have a different perspective, different points of view. So it is a space for exchanging these points of view, for a discussion. So maybe now let's start with the structure.
So yeah, regarding the example of that, we are here, we are, let's say, class, we are together, all students. So let's say that this is a space. This is a space, and we want to point that in that space is the input, diligence, and learning. What does it mean? The question is, what can I bring to the team? It's not only about that, okay, I'm here on studies and I want to take something, but I want to give something. We have to be givers, not only takers. So this is about input, about diligence, that this is a base of success. This is a base of everything what we want to do later. It's about maybe even attitude, but about attitude, it will be later. And learning, you can learn from everything. Now let's see that Silver told us a good morning story. Even we can learn something from this. We have to listen to people here on studies, and even beyond the building, now via internet. So the space is everywhere, and we can create that space. We can be invited to come here. And the second element is about awareness.
Yes. And about awareness, we also have three elements of that. First is weaknesses and strengths. So when we are going to deal with a new problem, we discuss that. First, we want to start with analyzing what we have, what weaknesses, what strengths we can use in that. And it is also connected with the insight control. It depicts that everyone is only leader. So only we can control ourselves and our behavior. We make decisions, not someone else. So we have to be aware of that. And the last thing is attitude. All of that is connected because each step leads us to our attitude. Why we want to do that and how we can do that. So why awareness? Because we can analyze the situation and the results of that, and make some changes that if it is needed. And slowly going to the end of our today's story, we would like to share with you also the answer to the question why to deal with the problem together, and share our conclusion.
Yeah, so before that, I'm sorry that if we have a question, why awareness, and now we have question, why space. So the answer to the question, why space, because different environment creates different approaches to dealing with the problem. We have to know where we are. And yeah, that our last conclusion is why to deal with the problem together is because our knowledge is limited. Knowledge, like other resources, are limited. And if we, let's say, have people in a room which is open, everyone can come here and everyone can exchange some points of view, we can learn from each other. So this is why knowledge is limited, and then we can let's say, enhance our knowledge by discussions with people. And this is why we put here on the whiteboard, we put something like simple rule. Simple rule is an action which we can undertake on Monday in order to do something. In that case, is contact someone who has done this. Yeah, so simple rule is about simple, yes, like the name is, simple actions on Monday to do something. In that case, is about dealing with the problem together.
Yeah, and I think that's it, and we are willing to your comments.
All right, so I have a comment. Can we remove the empty clouds? They don't make sense.
Empty clouds, yeah. A good point, Silver. We forgot to explain because these empty clouds have the purpose, and we wanted to put empty clouds just to also show the space for exchanging points of view, for exchanging ideas. One simple rule that Mateusz told us is contact someone who has done this. But it is our simple rule that we discussed, but maybe some of you also have some simple rules, and that empty clouds are just space for ideas, just to show that each one of us can have own idea, own simple rule. Yeah, that's it.
Here, but Silver, you forgot something. Here, we don't criticize anything. We are not here for criticizing. So you forgot one thing. Just start your sentence, if I were in this group. Here we are giving comments, not criticizing anything. So let's go, Silver. If I were in this group, let's go.
Okay, Professor. If I were in this group, I would remove the 2 empty clouds.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Silver.
Okay.
I have another comment. So if I were in this group, I would change the conclusion, knowledge is limited, to knowledge depends on one who seeks it, because the current conclusion, it brings up questions of otherwise. Why is our knowledge limited?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. This is how we give comments. We start the sentence with if I were in this group, and then we use our own prepositions, because we are not here to criticize anything. There is nothing to be criticized. So we share informations, we exchange our ideas. Okay, I'm seeing a hand. Okay.
I also have a comment, if I may.
Okay.
If I were you, I would also change the conclusion, but differently than Silver. I would say that along the lines of our knowledge as a single person is limited, but our collective knowledge is unlimited. So I would extend it. I would offer a difference between a perspective of a single person and a perspective of a group, to emphasize the synergy and the strength that comes from group interaction, from doing things together, as the problem identifies, right? As the problem mentions. So this is just an idea that came to me right now.
Thank you for the comment.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so now let's see what we have in the whiteboard one by one now. I can see your name, your date, which is one part of the whiteboard. Okay, to deal here, we always start our problems with the form of to plus action verb plus context. Now I can see that you did that, and also two structures, which are noun, space, and awareness, and the conclusion. Yeah, I can see that you fulfill what the board should have. And let's talk about something. When you say problems to deal with, now we can see that we cannot avoid problem, right? So what we can do is deal with problem. So what do you mean by deal with problem together?
Yeah, it's
Can you give
yeah. For me, it's about exchanging points of view and about maybe approaches how to maybe consider the problem, because we do not solve the problems, we do not avoid problems, like you, Professor, said, but it's about exchanging points of view and about touching the problem, and that problem will create next problem, etc., etc. So this is how I perceive that problem, that case to deal.
Okay.
And also I will add that it is connected with cooperation, like we have in our simple rule, contact someone who has done this. It is to in order to to get the knowledge from someone else, to cooperate with someone, exchange. Like Mateusz said, create environment to exchange ideas. So cooperation also.
Yes, yes, cooperation. Have you ever heard Bolero? Is there anyone who have heard Bolero before? Bolero?
No, professor.
No. So Bolero is an instrumental, like it's orchestra, which is made up of different things. Also, there is a dance move. Even the dance moves have its own steps. Also, the instruments are made up of the wind instruments and also violin, the dance. And when you see that, you can see cooperation. The dance alone cannot be Bolero. The instrument alone cannot be Bolero, but the whole thing is Bolero, if you get what I'm saying. So when you say about cooperation, this is the thing that came to my mind. Okay, well. So if we don't have any other comment, this is it for today. If there anything you want to add? If not, this is it for today. See you tomorrow, Friday. Okay, see you.
Professor. See you.
See you. See you. Okay, so now we want to we can move to the reality and and
Especially me, I want to become myself.
yes, Hildana can be Hildana again. And like Mateusz said at the beginning, now we would like to just share with you questions that we had before being at the business management, and also we created a questionnaire for our classmates, and they also shared with us their question. And if any of you have any questions, you can use chat or also ask the question via audio. And yes, that's a space for you also. So
and remember, if you want, you can contact us whenever you want after the meeting. So we will be for sure available. So it's your choice.
Yes.
Until then, let's see what our friends answer for our questions.
Yes.
Martina, is it possible?
Yeah, we had 3 questions for them. First was, what questions did you had before going to business management? And we will just share some of them. How can I manage my workplace? How is math? Is math that bad in a business program? So maybe if Hildana, Mateusz, or Silver, if you would like to say something about math courses. Okay. And what will be my job after this? What do I want to do in life? In what environment I want to work? What the classes will be about? What the students will be like? And also about the professors. So we can stop for a moment here.
Yeah. So let's go. Maybe about math. I guess it's not complicated. It's all that. It's all. Can I say everything about attitude is for sure. But the main point here is that it will be in English. Like the entire course is in English. So for me, it was a barrier, but for a moment, only for a moment. And here, in our case, it's almost 40 students, and there are students who can help you in whatever you want. So if you have any troubles with math, we are here, even in the higher year, but everyone is here to help you. So for sure, but so for if it comes to the level of math, it's how can I say? It's like in normal studies, I guess. It's not tougher or something like harder or something like that, in my point of view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me too. For me, it was hard in the beginning because I spent 3 years without seeing anything that's connected with math. So it was a kind of not complicated, but because of I already forgot about math, it was really tricky for me in the beginning. But after I get used to it, and as Matteo said, after I discussed some of the problems with my classmates, I already passed it. We did it. So if we pass, or if we can achieve something, also you can achieve something. So we are here. We are here to help you, and I'm sure you'll have classmates who are willing to share their knowledge with you. So I think that math can be tricky, but not that much barrier to pass. I can say that.
So I would add one more thing about that. In contrast to high school, I remember that there I was thinking that in high school we were alone with education, with learning some things. Here in studies, I see that if we have any troubles, any problems with some cases, with, let's say, with exercises from math, we create meetings via Zoom with many people, let's say 5, 6, even only 2, 3, it doesn't matter. There were always someone who can help us, and it was really helpful. And I remember that in high school it wasn't like that.
Yeah. So like you could hear on our story, deal with the problem together. Here is the space to do that. And I would like to also add that if you want to learn math, if you want to learn IT course, for example, and Excel, because it is also the part of that, it's also about your attitude. If you want it, you can do it, and yeah, no barriers.
Yes.
Okay.
And also, I think we have to talk about IT because IT seems tricky. I'm talking about myself because I have never used Excel before, but after I came here, I started to see how our professor was doing the task, because our professors are the one, they don't really give us the task and then leave us alone. They show how to do it first and then let us do it again. So that's how it's going in IT. She showed us how to do it, how to solve every exercises. So I recommend you to see Excel videos on YouTube, and in addition to that, attend the class and then see how professor solves the problems. Yeah.
Okay, I guess that we can switch to the next question. What did you take from the first semester of business management already? And some answers from our classmates. Knowledge is our everything. This is first statement. Cooperation is an asset for management. I got how to work on ourselves in terms of education, what business are about, and what kind and what knowledge they require. Basic knowledge about business, completely another way of thinking. I got that there are people who are willing to share knowledge, also how to not waste my time. Practice a lot of English with new contacts, interesting people, that's for sure. Also, I have finally established my future job plan and started heading these directions thanks to PSD classes, so professional skills development classes that we also have here. And I got new friends, challenge various stereotypes that I had before entering business management studies. As it seems to me, at least, I got or at least start to get sense of business ethics and also myself as a person. I learned to perform tasks which I would never do before. This is when it comes to attitude. So, like you see, also our classmates mentioned the attitude point. Do you want to guys add? Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would like to talk about the PSD or that course, because that is one way of how we can construct our future. Because for me, I decided what I want to be in the future thanks to PhD course, because we had assignment to choose one career and then to write about that career path. And the outcome of that career path doesn't necessarily be good for us. He told us, if it is good for us, you have to, then you can go, you can follow your path. If it is not, it's the time to change your path. So that was the good part of PhD. When I do the research, I got a chance to have interview with one of the person who is a part of my career path, and I get interview with her, and then she told me everything what I should prepare in order to become what I want to be in the future. So I am really thankful for that PhD assignment. Yeah.
Okay, guys, do you want to add something, or we can move forward?
Yeah, if we have any questions, like for example, in my case, before business management, I was thinking about level of English. It was for me maybe not huge, but it was a barrier after high school, before studies. And it's like, okay, it is in English, everything is in English here, but it's not a problem at all. We communicate with each other. Sometimes if there are any problems with with words or something like that, we have body language. We know that it is 80% of our language is body language. So don't think about that it will be a barrier in business management. For sure, it won't be.
Okay. So last question that we asked was, why are you here? It was a question for us and also our classmates. And just some answers. To get additional knowledge, to make my dreams come true, to become a better person in general and fulfill my purpose, to look for my path in life, because I want my language skills to improve, and I also think that it's a good place for networking, and Finnish course will be good for my future. And I perceive business management to be creative and dynamic. Those are two criteria that I'm looking for when planning my future. I'm sure that future in this field will be never boring. Yes, so I think now it is also time for you to ask that questions, why, and if you have also any questions to ask us, feel free to write to all of us. We are available on social media, and also you can ask here via audio or on the chat. Yes, and thank you.
So maybe we can wait for questions. Maybe they will appear in a chat. If not, okay, but let's wait maybe 2-3 minutes. So maybe waiting for comments, for questions, even for comments. My answer to question why I chose business management. Now I'm thinking that maybe there is one more thing, that I wanted something what would be challenge for me. Like it will be really hard, because I have never thought that this is possible for me to be on a course where everything is English, with where the majority of students are from abroad, not from Poland. And this is why I chose business management.
The question would be, Mateusz, how do you measure hard? What constitutes, what are the criteria for defining a hard task, a difficult?
The hard task that probably that in high school I didn't use English so much like here, and it was the main point. And maybe the second that I heard that business management, that course will be different than others, and it definitely different subjects than other subjects here, for example, in University of Łódź.
Well, one thing that you may have noticed during this meeting is that this is indeed an English-speaking, English-thinking environment. Now, I have had some awkward situations sometimes where I met one of my students somewhere in the city, and he was with his girlfriend or fiancée, and we were all Polish speakers, and me and the student, we were speaking in English, and his girlfriend was looking at us like, you know, we were strange or idiots, because, well, we were theoretically Polish speakers, but between us, the natural medium of communication is English, because this is the one and only way that this happens. Now, some people who are my seminar students, and we meet on a regular basis over the period of 3 years, they have never heard me speak Polish. And even if they did, I refuse to admit that they did, because this was not in direct communication with these people. So this is how the environment is set up. There are some principles that we just keep to, and this is not to exclude somebody from communication. On the contrary, this is to include everybody, because the only common denominator for us is English. So well, that's why this whole meeting was in English, and it cannot be otherwise. It cannot be otherwise. Okay, I don't see that any questions are coming immediately. So as Mateusz said, we can consider an option of writing questions on chat perhaps later on, or maybe sending questions by email. These can be addressed as well later. What remains to be said is a thank you, and have a good evening and a good afternoon.